Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm going to do a quick album review for Taeyeon's mini album called Why. This is her second solo album, of course, and I've already gone over and reviewed the first two tracks on this album in full videos. If you want to check out my review of Why, it's right here, and if you want to check out my review of Starlight, it's over here. And I'm going to actually start talking about the third track, which is called Fashion. This song sounds like a really cool kind of 80s inspired funky jam to me. I really like the deliberate tempo. It's not too fast, but it's also not too slow either. It's just right. It has a great groove to it, heavy low end, great bass. And I also like the fact that Taeyeon is really showing like different sides of her voice and her vocal tone and vocal color all within the same track. She's kind of going back and forth a lot of times between different vocal sounds, you know, more like wispy, airy type of sound, and then a more musical, playful, full voice type of sound, or it's mostly tone and no air. And the way the song's written with all the intervals, she's kind of jumping around different areas of her vocal range or vocal register and rapidly changing like how she's supporting the different notes as she's jumping around, and just changing like back and forth really quick how her voice sounds a lot in the song, which is really cool. And I think besides being a really cool song and vocal part, also shows off, you know, her vocal skills and capabilities somewhat. But it doesn't do that at the expense of it being a catchy song or a good song. You know, she's not just doing vocal acrobatics to show off. It really kind of fits into the song and furthers the melody and overall message of the song itself. The next song is called Hands on Me, and I actually love this track. I think it's my favorite track on the entire album. The orchestration, the arranging, the producing, the songwriting, some amazing and really complex stuff going on there. I love the chord changes, you know, modulating around. I also really like the lower intimate kind of vocal tones that Taeyeon is using in some of the parts of the song. And just the kind of magnitude of this song and how it was written isn't something that you would generally expect to hear in pop music. But that's what's really cool about K-pop. There really aren't any rules. There's tons of really complex, high-level musical stuff going on, even if you don't always realize it. And that's another cool thing about SM as well. They tend to really like taking chances on more complex music at times and just do things that aren't 100% traditionally like pop or K-pop. And lastly, I've just got to give a shout out to the bass line in this track. There's some awesome work going on there. The next song is Up and Down, and I think this is a really cool study of how you can combine a lot of different genres or elements into a song and make it kind of reinvented and fresh and new and awesome. You know, the intro starts like an old swing song, and then they seamlessly go into like a really heavy kind of hip-hop or trap influence kind of sound. But the interesting thing is they never lose that kind of swing influence, and there is a lot of influence back to jazz, swing, rhythm and blues that's in current hip-hop and even trap music, even though a lot of times you wouldn't hear that, and at times musically a lot of that influence has been kind of stripped away in really modern hip-hop. But this song was absolutely cool how they did that. It was awesome to have Hyo on the track as well, and I really enjoyed it. Now, the next song is called Good Thing, and did I say before that I had a favorite song on this album? Because I changed my mind. This is my favorite song on this album by far. This song just has tons of stuff I like on it. It's extremely musically and harmonically complex. They do that major to minor, minor to major interchange extremely smoothly and in kind of surprising but really satisfying ways throughout. And the song just has this upbeat groove that I absolutely adore. And then on top of all of that, Taeyeon's vocals just sound incredible in this track. It sounds like she was really into it, really enjoying it when she was recording it. And I have no idea why this wasn't at least one of the title tracks for this album. It's almost sad or a travesty that this song gets buried like at the end of the album, and I hope people will listen to the whole thing and find it, because I think it is absolutely top-notch music. I mean, the sounds they're using in this, the tones, the instrumentation, just all those different textures, besides everything else I already mentioned, just absolutely everything on it was so well thought out, so well produced. And this is something that is just so catchy, so enjoyable for me to listen to, that I'm going to be putting this on my playlist immediately and listening probably for a very long time. The last song on this album is called Night. It was nice, but not something that really excited me that much personally. You know, they went with the same sort of electric keyboard sound, just simple bass, kind of a simple ballad, almost something a little bit like Stevie Wonder era influenced, maybe a tiny bit, even though the vocals are nothing like that. I'm just talking about the kind of instrumentation and tones that I'm hearing. And then they kind of put the more modern elements of percussion in there, you know, with that hi-hat. And I just didn't think it really gelled all that well. And the song for me was just a little bit stationary and like never quite caught on to its own groove. You know, it didn't catch on to its own momentum. Although I do have to say that the vocals were really nice on it, just like the rest of the tracks on this album. So anyway, those are my thoughts about Why, Taeyeon's second mini album. Let me know in the comment section if you agree, disagree, any of your thoughts about any of the tracks, and we can discuss them some more. And thanks so much for watching this review. Please like, comment, and subscribe. If you could share this video all over the place, Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, forums, all that stuff really helps me out, and I'll see you guys next time.